But we live.
We are live.
We
At
are.
least some of us are.
We'll take over for him since he's not saying good morning.
Bruce, let's start right out with getting some things straight.
He's all taken.
You ready?
Tangled up in blue.
There's no need to introduce you here. They know you. Now, how many times have I told you that I have to pay attention, extra attention to Dr. Whaley? Okay?
He's already left the house.
Bruce, I have to pay close attention. These ladies, the general manager and senior producer, will tell you at any given time Dr. Whaley could give us a quiz. He can. He'll
quiz?
Say, yes, he'll say, Amanda, now what did I just tell you? And if you're not ready, right?
Right.
So I have to get intense and pay attention to Dr. Whaley.
Oh.
So the next time he does an oyster segment, you do not say Rocky Mountain oysters. That knocked me. You don't say, well, don't do it, Bruce. Sorry. Just
okay.
you got that?
Yes.
That is in the manual. You just didn't flip back to that page.
I'll look at my contract again.
Rocky Mountain oysters. And I'm telling you now before we start, because
Yes.
I am going to introduce you guys, okay? Don't explain what they are for those that don't know.
Okay.
I'm asking you nicely, Bruce.
I just,
Reel it in. Reel it in. Reel it in, buddy. I'm your host, speaking. Straight face time, right? Really? I'm your host. We are at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. This is the All-Star Political Panel. I have Rick and Bruce, and JR is back there. They're getting ready to deliver this big monster couch. So if you hear the beep, beep, beep safety noise, that's them coming through here with a couch. It could happen.
Great.
you think we might see him?
We might see them come right through here with a big couch, take it out here at Circuit World.
Oh, boy.
Okay, guys, what's up? First of all, for the world out there, thank you guys Wednesday for doing the show, filling in. I've gotten some good reports.
Well,
What did you
back
think?
at you.
What did you think of it?
I didn't. I didn't think of it twice.
But throwing the day back at you, how did your tour go? Because
we enjoyed it because Natalie and I got an opportunity Wednesday, and you have a couple races that if you're politics, the President of the United States, senatorial, statewide, governor, and a governor's a big race in a state. And the presumptive leader right now, and I say that because the polls are just not where they should be, but I think all agree, even the other candidates, the opponents, that Casey Cagle on the Republican side of the ticket is the leader in that race. So he did a North Georgia bus tour, which started in Clarksville. He's on a 40 town stop, but we started Clarksville Wednesday morning. Went over to Cleveland, went over 2 stops in Union, went to right through here, went to Jasper, and Natalie and I spent the day with the candidate and his wife, Nita Cagle, and the family dog, and the campaign manager. There's about 7 of us on the bus. So we got an inside look at the race. So we enjoyed it. Really, I'm really careful with the word enjoy put with a candidate, no disrespect, because I don't endorse, but we enjoyed getting a look inside.
What do you guys do between cities, between stops?
Tell jokes.
Seriously, I mean,
Talk baseball.
do you all nap or do you eat?
No, I was serious. I will say this. You're asking the question. I will say this. Not policy, but personally, Casey Cagle is very personal.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, I have to say it. 2 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Steve Gooch was on the bus with us.
Oh, boy.
All right, so.
Stretch.
Well, Gooch and Natalie horse around too much. Not me.
Brian, please tell me you're trying to tell that lie. I have seen you with Steve Gooch. Oh, my God.
We've never seen Natalie with Steve Gooch.
Let's get real.
So, no. We did what between. It was. I will say this: it was an off-the-record ride. So, I mean, there's not really any breaking news that I would have. But between stops, and we were traveling in the bus, the candidate let me ask anything I wanted. Anything I wanted. We sit there and talk. We did talk. He did look over at Natalie at one time and say, right? He looked over at Natalie one time. No, he looked over at Natalie one time and wait a minute,
I had a flash. I'm sorry.
He looked over at Natalie one time and said, Okay, let me paint it. I'm sitting here on the couch. Casey Cagle is sitting here. Steve Gooch is here, and Natalie is here. And he looked over about halfway through the day, and Natalie said, "Is he always like this?" And she said, "Yes." And so,
Now, in your meetings, were they meeting town halls, that kind of stuff?
Voter meet and greets. We went to Glenda's restaurant in Cleveland, which I really enjoyed because I will tell you what, when you get out, and we have it here in Blue Ridge and LJ and in Union County, and when you get out, there's still those mom and pop places that the people gather for coffee. And I will tell you this, I really enjoyed this. When you're you see on the campaign trail the presidential race, they stop at the local coffee shop in the morning, okay?
Yep.
And they talk to the locals that are having breakfast. Glenda's, I want to give Glenda's a shout out. I got an opportunity to meet Glenda over in Cleveland, and that is just an older place where the people go and drink coffee and eat their breakfast. And we made a joke, and Steve Gooch said to me, Senator Steve Gooch said there was a table and there was 5 or 6 seniors sitting around the table, and he said, Steve Gooch said, "We call this the CNN table over here." And they said, "Yeah, we're the CNN table." And he said, "Yeah, the Cleveland News Network."
Oh, geez.
So they're the Cleveland. So that was enjoyable because there are those places that they still get together. And,
Well, Fox and Friends does that segment, every once in a while.
Right,
where
exactly.
Where they're out
Right.
in the.
They were just in West Virginia before the debate.
Yeah.
So we went. That was one of that was my favorite stop. Now Clarksville, we were up at the gazebo, and I enjoyed that. There's a gazebo in the center of Clarksville. Met the sheriffs there in Habersham County. Love that stop. But Glenda's in Cleveland was my favorite stop because it's really where we went in, and the place was packed. People having breakfast, and the candidate was walking up one table at a time saying good morning, and that was, I almost felt like I was on one of those, where they set up in the morning and ask people, "Hey, what are you hearing in the campaign?" So I like that.
Did he get any questions on the thing about the bill he signed that his opponents are using in the ads against him?
No, he didn't. He didn't really get any questions on that. I mean, not really. I didn't hear. Everywhere he went, he actually talked to any voter that wanted to come up and talk to him, but I didn't really hear a lot of questions.
How many candidates are there for Republican?
There's actually 7 on the ballot, but there's only 5 that are polling. The other 2 are not even getting a percent, so I don't want to say they're not acknowledged, but they'll be on the ballot when you go there.
And he's the leader.
Right now, I mean, you have Michael Williams and Clay Tippins. Michael Williams is a senator. I think I don't want to get the district wrong. He's a state senator. Clay Tippins is not a. It's first time in politics. He's never run for anything. Businessman. They're polling, according to an AJC poll. They're polling around 4, 3.5, 4.
I saw the AJC
they would
poll.
They would argue and say 5. Then you get into the top tier, and I want to go. This show is go anywhere we want to go. When the top tier for the governor's race of Georgia, there is Casey Cagle. He is the current lieutenant governor.
They had him at 38%, I believe.
Yes. But getting into
the
that,
AJC.
Exactly, we're staying with that. You have Casey Cagle. Then you have the Secretary of State, current Secretary of State Brian Kemp, and then you have former Senator Hunter Hill. Okay, go for it.
AJC had Hunter Hill ahead of Kemp.
1%. I think one was 9
Like
and one was
19
8.
or
no,
19 and 11.
No, wait. You need to go read that again. Maybe
Well,
you need to.
I brought it to the show with me on
Our
Wednesday.
senior
I had
production
it with
man
me.
find
You
that.
may need to refresh.
But Hunter
that
Hill
page.
was ahead of Kemp.
Okay, let's just stay with that. Okay, we'll go with that. Hunter Hill is ahead of Kemp. We'll go with that. But that's the top tier, is those 3.
Yeah.
Now, the reality is, Casey Cagle said, in the state of Georgia, you have to have 50% plus 1 vote. Okay?
Majority wins.
And
Simple majority.
and the candidate, Cagle acknowledges mathematically they will be a runoff. And the runoff is in July, it goes to July. So mathematically, nobody is going to get the 50 plus 1. So there'll be 2 candidates continue on to a runoff. who is the second candidate is really the challenge right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because let's just say Kegel's, I don't want to say he's going to be the number one. Somebody else can step up the next 3 weeks. That's why I don't believe in early voting. I do not believe in early voting.
I don't either. Too
What
many
if-
things can happen in
Right.
between.
What if in the next 2 weeks something outstanding happens with one of the other candidates that's polling low? That
Or
you
vice
say-
versa.
Right, that you say, man, I really
I'd like to
wanna
pull my
look-
vote back.
I'd like to look.
I'm sorry,
Or
you
the
can't.
other
A storm
candidate,
could come along.
Or a storm could come along. Just when we were having a serious conversation.
A storm blows in. What? That's how they come in. They usually come in from the west.
You know, on our show, we talked about the 60s. And I'd like to get your take on the Kennedy family.
At some point in time.
You want that take now, or can we
what I
finish? I have an audience wanting to know where I was going with what I was saying.
Please carry on.
Until a storm. So in case a storm blows in, you never know. The other candidate, I don't believe in early voting. But that being said, the one factor in that, the candidates know there'll be a runoff.
Yeah.
The poll is for number 2.
So right now, they're campaigning for the runoff.
Yes. They'll not tell you that. They're campaigning for the win.
There's no question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes. Bruce had his hand up.
He's got to go to the bathroom. He has 2 fingers.
Has the
You
current,
wait for the break.
Has
You
the
wait till
current-
we stop.
has
car.
the current governor endorsed anyone?
No, and he won't.
He won't?
No.
Never do?
I don't say never. I don't see it.
I mean, does it mean anything? Anyway.
Yes. Governor Deal does.
He wouldn't endorse his lieutenant governor?
I don't know that, but Governor Deal does not. He has good polling numbers. Mm-hmm. Not with me. But
be
with
said.
others.
You got some polls, and then you got the BKP poll.
Exactly.
Or the FYN poll. Which
That's
is,
right.
Exactly.
You got a barber poll, a BKP poll.
Right. Exactly. So
what's the rhinestone and burlap poll?
the BNR. So no. But he's polling high. But I don't know that you want the governor to get in because it moves things this way. But what it moved this way, it left things over here a different way. So do you alienate that vote and go for this vote? So I'm not saying he won't, but I'm not hearing that right now. And that would be pretty big news. Governor Deal, so I don't think that's the case, but they are running for the runoff. They won't tell you that. Now, ask me because I'm waiting, like, who do I think will be number 2? But, I mean, I hate to have to give you that, but could somebody ask me who I think will be in the runoff?
Why don't we just wait? You don't have to, like, go out on a limb.
You know it's my favorite thing to do. What the hell's wrong with him?
You don't believe in early voting? You can't make it that far.
No!
He's all wound up about leaving for 6 weeks on vacation. He's going to go take a road
Yeah, I
trip.
got us wound up. Okay.
Damn.
All right. Okay. BKP, who do you think will be in the runoff? Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
Ask yourself that question.
I had to. I threw it out there.
No help from the staff.
Fail.
Kegel will be number 1 because in the poll, the factor that nobody talks about or is not brought up is that big 30-plus undecided. Big number. You have Kegel. When they say Kegel has 40%, Kegel has this number, Kemp has this number, Hill has this number, then it gets like this. Then when it gets to the undecided, it goes like this. You know what I'm saying? So there's that major undecided that changes everything.
Are they independents and Democrats that are, typically wouldn't
not-
show up and...
Well, it's the undecided vote of people just not paying attention. And I think so many people don't pay attention, sadly, that start looking for their candidate either the day they go in to pull the lever or the day before they call you and say, Rick, I ain't paid attention to this. What do you think? I really think that's where we're at.
Well,
Let's go to the Rocky side.
Kegel's got a lot more money, too.
Yeah, you went into money, but the runoff, my prediction is, and please do not get upset because I could be wrong. My prediction is Casey Kegel, Brian Kemp.
Okay.
Now, I like Hunter Hill. I don't think Tippins stands a chance. I don't think Michael Williams stands a chance. I just upset a whole lot of people. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Okay, I don't think they'll be there. Okay, because simply not that they're bad candidates, they don't have the money. Now let's go back to not whether you like the candidate, who has the money. Don't forget, people will say, well, Michael Williams is the outsider, and Michael Williams is the first state-elected politician in Georgia that endorsed. He's State Senator Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. But guess what Michael Williams does not have?
What?
Donald Trump's money. Trump had the money to run for president. Williams does not have the money to run for governor. So you got a race that is taking the front runner going to take $10 million to run a governor's race once we get through a primary runoff, and then the general. You got $10 million, and you got a guy with, you know, $1.5 million or whatever. Sadly to say, you don't have the money. That's why. So I think Kemp, for no other reason, not an endorsement, is going to be. I think I know that name from somewhere when people get in the ballot box. He's going to get the He's going to get the 5% that don't know, or even higher, that don't know who Hunter Hill is. That's my opinion.
If we get out of the grassy side of the field and go into the rocky side of the field, what's going on with the Democrats?
Hell if I know. No, I'm serious. I'm going to tell you.
They have two candidates, right?
Right, you have
There's three, but the top.
two females.
Abrams and
Evans. But no, I say it that way. Let me tell you why I said it that way. Because I have contacted their campaigns over and over and offered them an interview to be on the show, to talk to me, because I think in the state of Georgia, be careful. I'm throwing a lot out there, just, you know, all willy-nilly here.
We wanted you to shovel hard this morning.
But I'm telling you right now, I think that there's the 5%. If you look at what did Governor Deal win against Jason Carter, 52-47, something like that, okay? I'm telling you right now, the 5% that Democrats need in Georgia is sitting outside of Atlanta, okay? And rural Georgia has more Democrats on the ballot in lower level tickets than they've had since this was a Democrat state. Meaning right here, we're sitting in Fannin County. Last night I went to a forum here in Fannin County. You had one or two Democrats on the ballot for school board. Okay? You have Dixie Carter on the ballot for post 2 commissioner. Okay? You had a lot of Democrats at the forum last night. Next, in the 7th district, right where we're at, the Speaker of the House, David Ralston, has a Democrat opponent. Rick Day is on the ballot to run against him. Right here. The 9th district, Josh McCall. McCall for all is what he's going by, is running against Congressman Doug Collins. Now, do I think Congressman Doug Collins is a 70-30? Sure, I think Collins gets 70, he might get 30. It might be a 65-35. Over there, always make sure my numbers equal 100. Help me out. Help me out. Make sure I always equal
11
100.
or 100.
100. Right. So anyhow, but what I'm saying is Josh McCall's on the ballot, right?
What you're saying, there's an upswelling of Democrats.
In rural.
What kind of Democrats are they, though?
Okay.
Are they the original kind of Democrats that were Blue Dog?
No, there's no such thing as any other kind anymore.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
I disagree.
I disagree with you.
I'm saying that the Democrats that are in rural Georgia are not the left-wing Sanders-type Democrats.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
So there's a new one.
What?
Rabid dog.
Let me tell you why I disagree. Because they may not sit here and spew the same things Elizabeth Warren will spew, but they're sure as hell going to go vote for the Democrat, period, no matter how radical they are.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. What did I say on my show the other day? I always tell you to pay attention, right? Did you pay attention? You probably didn't. I said out there's no such thing as a moderate Democrat. Connor Lamb, They want you to believe that they're going to come up with
Right.
moderate Democrat candidates. And the media is starting to lay that groundwork is what's resonating is in the Democrat Party, our moderates are coming back. No, they're not. It's a lie.
You think Conor Lamb is going to vote for Pelosi?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I think.
Let's
okay.
not get back off the track on governor.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I don't understand why Stacey Abrams, and I'll close that up, Stacey Abrams and Stacey Evans' campaigns are not contacting me because the 5% they need to win in Georgia lies. They're going to get Metro Atlanta for the most part.
I mean,
Okay, they're gonna
that's
get
a
it.
pretty well-known number.
Right. They need, right. They have a set number in Metro Atlanta.
Okay.
They need the rural 5%. And it is out here. That's the scary part. It is out here.
Are they campaigning?
Not yet out here. What somebody said the other day is they will campaign in rural Georgia, or possibly the candidate will be on my show for rural Georgia when they get a nominee. So there you go. And I want to make sure everybody out there that this is not an anti-candidate discussion. Hunter Hill, candidate for governor, was on this show yesterday. His interview is on FetcherNews.com and our YouTube channel, FetcherNews.com, FYNTV. We had Hunter Hill on the show. He's campaigning hard, and I will say it's anybody's race right now. The numbers are so jumbled, it's anybody's race.
They are jumbled.
My only thing is Kemp and name recognition. If you go in the polls, we pay attention. If you go into the election booth and you go start going, well, I do know Brian Kemp. Isn't he something right now? Yeah, I know his name. So much of that happens that we don't. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Has he been on your show?
Yes, several times. Now,
What about the other lower ones?
we've
Tippins, yeah.
once. Don't make me talk Clay Tippins today, okay? Let's move along. It's Friday sunshine.
Nothing to see here.
Okay. Clay Tippins has been on
We
the
get
show
on, we get
once.
gagged.
I'm going to emphasize once. Okay. Reeling it back in. Michael Williams has been on our show several times. He's been on our show several times. Probably have him on next week. Hunter Hill's 3 times now. Casey Cagle twice. And when we were on the bus tour the other day, if you'll go to FetcherNews.com, go to FYNTV, we did a on-the-bus interview, a live interview. Oh, it's on our Facebook. We did a Facebook Live. It's on our Facebook page. We did a 20-minute interview with Casey Cagle and myself on the bus yesterday, and I asked him pretty tough questions in that interview. So he's been on 3
Do
times.
you think the Democratic ladies will eventually come on?
I don't know ladies plural because I don't think the Democrats will.
There are 2.
I don't think
Two at
the
least I know
Democrats
about.
will until they have a nominee. I don't think they'll come on during the primary. But I think they will. Okay. So,
Cool.
Brian Kemp, did you see his commercial, Jake?
It was on.
Fox?
Yeah, it was on the 5.
Okay.
It was.
Jake. I didn't
The
see
shotgun.
The shotgun.
it. No. didn't see it.
Shotgun
Okay.
and the boyfriend. I think the
Home-
couch.
Oh,
I think the
yes,
sofa
yes,
is about
yes.
ready to
Yeah,
move
they're going to
here.
bring a sofa through here, but it's working. It's a working
in
area.
progress.
I mean,
right?
my gosh.
Yeah, we're not trying to hold up.
I mean, it's sucker world. They're selling stuff. It's moving. All right. If you're about to see something move through here, it would be a couch. It's
if
not,
we're
if
on
it-
the couch, that's a problem.
if it's coming,
They're moving and shaking in Second World.
they're moving a couch.
But if he's on the couch,
They're moving a couch. If it is coming to your house, it's on the way. If not, come and buy one today, and they can deliver it for you. How was that?
That's
okay,
good.
let's-
segue, sweet.
Anyway,
We're doing live commercials this
Yes,
morning
we
as
are.
well.
so Kemp hit a home. We got a lot to talk about. It's 9:20, but Kemp hit a home run with this ad. Like it or not,
Yeah.
he hit a home run. I mean, the guy's sitting there, and he's got a lovely daughter, and he's like the young man is wanting to take his daughter out. So Kemp's sitting there with a shotgun, and he's got like
He's
what,
got
3
4
pistols?
handguns.
Yeah, he's got 4 handguns sitting over here,
Sitting
and he's
there.
got a shotgun that's cracked like
He's got
this.
a double barrel.
Right? And he asked this kid, he gives this kid a test. So you want to take my daughter out? What do you think I want? Sir, you want to cut spending. Sir, what's the 3 rules, right? Okay?
Want to take a chainsaw to regulations.
I wanted, you want to take a chainsaw to regulations? Yes, yes. Then he said, what did he say? And have a healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment. And about that time, Kemp clicks that shotgun up and he says, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. So it resonated.
Of course, Juan has the segment on the 5, and what does he open with? Do you think it's right that he points that shotgun at that young man?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Juan.
Kemp's
Wasn't even close.
Kemp's campaign and his opponents cringed because Kemp's campaign hit a home run because there's two things they wanted to do. They wanted to they wanted to spin the heads off of the liberal media so they would just go berserk over it, because when we hear liberal media go berserk over something, we tend to like it more. So they achieved that. They wanted that. They wanted the liberal media, and they wanted the people. Casey Cagle has received the NRA endorsement, and but they wanted to assert their Second Amendment. Let's move.
You know, it was even just the cherry on top when he went on Fox and told everybody to get over it.
Yeah, no. Kemp did an in-studio interview with us, and he came to the office and said hello to everybody. So, good group of candidates, a lot to decide, and we'll get deeper into that. I've got to move on here to something else.
I hear the beeping on the truck.
Beep, 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 beep,
Beep.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Okay,
Watch your
yeah.
step. Watch your step. Okay. So,
Good job, JR.
if that is your couch, it's on the way.
It's coming, folks.
All right, folks. Bruce, we're not at the end of the show. This is not winners and losers, but this is the time. What subject out there has been happening this week that you would like to talk about?
Well, I guess we're not going back to the Kennedys, huh?
You want to go back? No, you want my take on the Kennedys?
I do.
What do you want to know?
He's been doing some research.
From Papa Joe to through all the kids.
Let me tell you this little story.
Oh boy.
Because you're an East Coast guy, you know about.
No. Oh, let me tell you this story. East Coast ends here.
It's a river.
Connecticut.
It's a river.
But Massachusetts, we don't even accept them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
Massachusetts, Boston, we're Yankee fans. We have nothing for. Okay, now the Kennedys.
We had a Boston liberal judge yesterday approved marriage for illegals. What is that deal? Anyway.
Hey, there's people too.
I threw that in there so you could collect your thoughts. So you'd have a little time.
JFK, first major candidate, obviously the biggest major candidate, Catholic candidate to win through the South. Okay, now this is a true story, and because there's some argument on this. No. There's argument on did this really happen, but it did. There's the famous Joe Kennedy trip through West Virginia. And Papa Joe, you see, West Virginia is interesting. Today, West Virginia is a red state. Today, West Virginia, believe it or not, is actually playing, it's like the button in the center, not geographically of the country, but it's like a button there that's getting more press and more recognition than it ever has in the past, okay?
Going for that mansion seat.
And it's a totally red state now, which is enormous. And I'm getting to the Kennedy question. So, which we all know that in the South, which West Virginia does not want to, I will tell you this, they do not want to associate with the North. So they're not truly a Southern state, but they do not daresome go in there. That's a little Dutch, Pennsylvania Dutch. Daresome go into West Virginia and say Yankee. Doesn't work. So they're the true rednecks. And
Hill
true.
Williams.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's where
Williams.
redneck comes from.
I know.
Hill Williams.
So anyhow, they were concerned that in the Bible Belt, and West Virginia being one of the strongest spots, that Kennedy could not get elected as a Catholic. Could not. Who is the power broker of every county in the state, in some of these states, the sheriff. Right? The sheriff. So Papa Joe takes a trip through West Virginia on his way to Texas. And he stopped by multiple sheriff's office, and he left a little gift. And he said, Mr. Sheriff, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be coming back through West Virginia.
He probably didn't talk like that, but
this
I
is
understand.
this is a two-way trip.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going through West Virginia, and I'm coming back through West Virginia. Now, if things work out like I think they ought to, on my way back, I plan to have a second gift for you. And Kennedy won West Virginia. And West Virginia is very pivotal because Kennedy beating Nixon was razor thin.
Oh, yeah.
70,000 votes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You
How
fast
much-
forward, it could have been a hanging chad election.
Right? So that West Virginia sheriff trip where Papa Joe helped grease the pockets. Anything else? I mean, what are we want to go into now? I love this. Keep it going.
I mean, was there any discussion, I mean, after the fact of exactly what Papa Joe brought and left?
Money.
I thought it was scotch.
Bags of cat. Yeah,
It was rum.
and a
I
fifth.
thought it was rum.
Now, clear me up. Did the Kennedys not get somehow, some way, a penny off of every bottle of scotch?
Absolutely.
Every bottle of scotch, they got some sort of penny.
He had
or
his
two.
finger in, yeah.
Right?
They still do.
Still do to this day.
Yeah.
You buy a bottle of scotch, you have supported and endorsed the Kennedys, right?
Is that blended and single
Yeah.
malt?
What else do you want to know? You want to go any
That's it.
further?
No. That's it. I want you to get into something you really like.
Now, here's what's interesting. I watched something on Robert Kennedy this week. I don't know where I get the time. So, you know, Robert Kennedy got shot. What was San Francisco in the back of that restaurant and the hotel going out the back?
Hotel, yeah.
Right?
In the in the restaurant.
In the restaurant, going out the back.
Cook station.
Right, in the
Yeah.
cook station, yeah.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, we
Sirhan,
talked about that.
Sirhan.
60s, you know, there were
Sirhan, Sirhan.
several
And I like
assassinations.
watching the old hearings with Hoffa and
Jimmy Hoffa.
yeah. See, if you wouldn't have done this, and I could have done my Robert Kennedy asking him just to answer the questions, and McCarthy,
Joe.
right?
Yeah.
Eugene.
Say
Joe
it ain't so,
McCarthy,
Joe.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
Well, it was just, we were talking about the 60s, and that was, you know, sort of working out to be a family dynasty. I mean, in terms of U.S.
No,
politics.
my mother, Mom, I hope you're not watching. I grew up in a house divided. My dad was, oh man, you had to do this, didn't you? My dad is, still to this day, a very hard Republican. I mean, hard Republican. My mom thought more Robert than JFK, but John and JFK hung the moon.
Exactly.
Now,
I had a house. I grew up in a
now-
house like that.
Yes, sir. Now, my mom,
I didn't.
huh?
I didn't.
My mom Mom, don't get upset. I know it was right next to the Velvet Elvis. Anyhow, my mom had the blanket, the velvet blanket that was absolutely beautiful of the profiles of John and Robert with the political seals. And I'm just telling
Anybody
you.
here?
No, if it's
See my
JFK,
old friend John.
gosh, yes, sir.
So at least Jackie wasn't in the picture.
No.
Jackie O.
Okay.
Interesting.
But,
Yeah,
so-
there was a lot of...
No, my mom. But you know what's interesting today, if you do the research, JFK's policies mirror Republican
Exactly.
policies today. I mean, is JFK like what I would call the last Democrat policy that actually thought tax cuts would spur the economy?
Yeah, it's a little gutless on military things, though.
I agree with that. Now, I will say this. The truth of what really happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis, with we flinched and removed our missiles from where? Where Poland, or where did we remove our missiles from that people don't know? That was over in the...
Recently?
No, Kennedy.
Oh.
Kennedy. You know, he to read what really happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
To get Khrushchev to pull him out
Right,
of Cuba.
to get Khrushchev, I think we pulled him somewhere
Well, Poland would make sense because
I can't remember. Anyhow,
Yeah, they're the
all right.
whipping boy
So
for
let's
the-
not
Exactly.
do JFK. I mean, you're probably going to get into who shot him and everything like
No,
that,
I
and
don't
I
care about
don't want to go there.
I don't care about that.
And you,
Trump's going to the NRA today.
NRA, National Rifle. So he's going down
I
there,
think it's cool.
huh?
It's not the
You
NRA,
like it?
the NRA.
Yeah, he went last
Yeah.
year. hit.
It's going to be a.
That's his base. I mean,
You know
that's
what Trump-
red meat
They're going to be
land.
talking about that all
That's
day
red
Sunday.
meat land.
All day.
You know what Trump did? Now,
Which day?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the tweets. He could be doing something.
I don't
right
know
this
where you get the
second.
time.
Huh? You know what Trump did? He turned. This is my favorite. I love this. Trump took a Cat 5 and turned it into a tropical storm.
I know.
He took a Cat 5 and turned it into a tropical storm. A tropical depression.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Huh?
Doesn't get any better than that.
She's an actress.
Oil on the water.
She's an actress. She's been elevated to an actress. MSNBC talk about her
What?
as an actress. No, they do. An
Yeah,
actress.
they're calling
Yes.
her an actress. Mika.
And the next time you go see your attorney, now, God forbid you have to have one, but if you have a real estate transaction or whatever, but if you next
Or
time
an
you go
HOA out of
see
control.
your attorney and you what you do and you want them to represent you,
Yes.
okay, instead of asking their retainer, I want you to ask how much money they choose for you to funnel into their account.
So you can pay off your
you
mistakes.
so you can pay off. All right, come up with a subject. We have a dog here. We have to talk about MSNBC having to reel back the difference. Well, there's a little mix-up between wiretap and
that was
surveillance.
NBC. That wasn't
MSNBC. No, that's MSNBC.
Both of them are
Yeah,
walking
well,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, but no,
ABC too.
MSNBC is the one that broke it.
But,
Casey Hunt.
but I went on there this
Casey
morning,
Hunt.
and the correction was posted on the NBC News website. Not a big deal.
Right,
Not a big deal at all. But they're the ones that did the retraction.
right.
MSNBC was just kind of scrambling like
No, but now they have
roaches when
now
the
they
lights
have
come on.
all of their people telling how there's a fine line between wiretap and surveillance where it was easy they may have made. Here's what MSNBC did.
They weren't listening to any of the messages. They were doing a pencil register, right?
You know,
Just checking numbers.
yesterday I think it's Casey Hunt, okay? Casey Hunt says we have breaking news. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Casey Hunt said we have breaking news. It's coming out as we speak that, President Trump's private attorney, Michael Cohen, that Mueller, the special tapped his phones, right? Basically in general, had his phones, and a conversation had been picked up from the White House, something like that, right? In general, right?
Two unnamed sources.
Okay, here's what bothers me with that. A whole plethora, right? Is that what it is? Is that a big word?
Plethora,
Or
yeah,
Is
you
it
got that
correct?
good.
Here is what bothers me with that. Is
Veritable plethora.
before it got to her desk and it was written in a teleprompter, there was a multitude of level of senior producers. They have their big people, they have senior producers, they have legal analysts, they have everything that this gets sorted through to make it creditable enough to read on a teleprompter. And they, somewhere in a room, made a decision, we don't really know, but let's go with it. Now, I don't know if people realize how serious that is. Once it gets to that teleprompter, liking Casey Hunt, but Casey Hunt is not making that decision whether you want to believe it or not.
No.
She's not.
No,
There
she's
is a
reading
whole
the news.
staff. There's a whole staff back there that is sorting through this before it hits that. And they took something of Michael Cohen, private citizen, right? Right? Am I
Yeah.
right? He's not with the government, he's private citizen.
Right.
And they announced that. Do you realize what that would have opened up? A wiretapping of another private citizen? Maybe they retracted it because, hey, let's not let everybody know we just keep tapping wiretapping private citizens,
Yeah.
right? Wiretapping a private citizen again? So you take a story that serious and you run it out there that way?
Aren't those conversations always recorded anyway, though? All the conversations
White
at the
House?
White House?
I understand, but it's just
Well, I mean, they only found one, so it would have been one conversation.
One conversation.
wait. Here's let me not
With
get
Cohen.
this. Let me
With
get
Cohen.
not get this wrong. The White House. This is my thought. The White House. It is recorded conversations through the White House. What's the front desk? The switchboard. Let's just call it the old-fashioned switchboard. There is no call probably comes in and out of the White House that there's not record. But because of the privacy of the executive branch and the ability to have any conversation they want and not, there is a time, and I don't know what it is, to where us, the American people, that's released to the public.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because even like Nixon in his own words, I don't know if you ever had a chance to watch Nixon in his own words, but the tapes fell under that rule that they couldn't be released. We didn't hear the tapes. We knew the tapes were there. We knew there was so many missing minutes.
18 and a half.
Right, but we didn't hear all the tapes. They were only released after it expired. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even if they got to go get a warrant. They got to break into a lot of stuff and really have something to go in and ask for the White House communication records. And audit. You follow what I'm saying?
Sure.
But no, MSNBC just flew it right out there. Next up, a porn star. Right after this.
Trump administration continues push for prisoners' release.
Yeah, I got
That's
that one
all
right
over
too.
the TVs.
That's another one I got right. Well, did I get it right? Amanda, could you be... We got that. You and I, right? High five me over here.
Sometimes it's not all about right, it's timeliness.
I was right at the perfect time.
They're what, sitting in a hotel right now, just waiting for Air Force
I
One to
don't
come
know.
get
I'm
them?
saying that jokingly, but I'm
that's the
tired.
report.
Yeah, but I'm tired of hearing about it. We talked about these 3 Korean Americans a long time ago, and I said, watch. I mean, they're going nuts. What will he get? I said, watch and see. These 3 Americans, Trump's not going over there.
It'll be the opposite of Pompeo. They'll have them on those little things, and the
Zip line.
plane will come by and it'll just suck them out of the room.
He's taking a zip line across the border.
Off the top of the hotel.
You're going to video it.
You think a pallet of cash will come in
No,
at the same time?
No, we're not even paying anything for this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they will not have to sit on the plane and wait. What are we waiting for on takeoff? The next pallet to drop. Oh, there it is. We can take off now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, pull out of the Iranian deal. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Just said that they're being moved from the prison to a hotel in Pyongyang.
Right. There'll be a move there.
Yeah.
My prediction still is they're being moved there. They will be moved to South Korea, where we have medical facilities, because anytime that happens, they go through Germany or they go through a medical facility, correct?
Yep.
And
Usually the military base.
There will be several evaluations of their health.
And psyche.
Psyche, exactly. You're right. There'll be psychiatric evaluations. They don't just fly home on the next flight and come back home.
Get the flowers. Yeah.
Right. They come. They go through a psychiatric. You're exactly right. What they've been through.
Debrief.
Debriefing of what took place over there. Oh yeah, there's a lot happens. We have the military facilities in South Korea to handle that because we're there. And what will happen is, I am still saying there is a slim chance, but my one slim chance is, I'm saying that they will come home on Air Force One. I still feel they will. I would love that. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. And
Possible.
no, I want the American people to see that door open. I mean, just something about it. That door open. You know how I'm different, people, if you haven't picked it up.
We have.
No,
We're in the majority.
When the president, Air Force One lands, and that door opens and swings back, and that guy with the little black suit, the skinny black tie, and the glasses is standing up there, and that seal is facing out, and the president makes his appearance. That's what I was just so upset for the past 8 years. The appearance makes the appearance right there. I mean, tell me you don't want to see the 3 Korean Americans make an appearance in that doorway. And I want to do it for the media. I want them to have to report it. I want them to. I want to
Shove
do
it in their face.
No, let me get to who I want to shove it in his face. You remember the UCLA basketball dad and Trump? You know, he stole the sunglasses in China, but Trump secured their release
yes.
and got them sent home. And his dad, the basketball player, said he would have really done something if he'd have rode home in Air Force One. When you ride home in Air Force, then he did, right? Remember that? That was a comment, right?
Yep.
If he had a rode home, I want these guys to ride home in Air Force One. Just for you, Mr. Basketball Star Daddy, whoever you are.
You're not going racist on us, no.
No, I did not. That was not racial, Bruce. I want the media, because they have to. They will hate it, but they have to put the cameras on the doorway. They have to see them get off, and then Donald J. Trump right behind them.
You say they have to. You know a lot of times they don't run that stuff.
They will. Oh, they will this. They'll have no choice.
Think so?
They did a segment again. I keep going to the 5. They ran a segment on the 5 last night. It was really funny.
Mr. President, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude. Mr. President, let me get this in while I'm thinking about it. Now, Republicans, you need this. I hate to politicize these Korean Americans, but let's go with it. You got to get them coming off the plane, president right behind them, and you clip it and you put it in campaign ads. Send me to Washington to help Donald J. Trump, because boom, and you just have that in the background. Go ahead.
How much did that cost?
That was free.
I'd like to see Melania there, too.
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
No,
What do you got?
they did a piece on the release. You know, Gutfeld. He's so funny. They did it. They said I'd like to show them the media now, the mainstream media, about the release of the prisoners, and they show all these people crying. No, they don't want those. guys to be.
They are trying.
They don't want peace in North Korea and South Korea. They don't want the Koreans to be released. They don't want any kind of "we got you" in excuse me, in Iran. They will hate that.
We're not even going to talk about the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh my goodness.
Do you believe Bibi, when he came out and said Iran lied? Did you watch that 18-minute press conference?
Yes.
Did you? I watched 18, 20 minutes, right? It was a video. I watched that. Do you believe Bibi?
Oh, of course. Before he even, came out and did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that information is not new information.
No.
But
it's almost as good as his UN thing, with the bomb.
The bomb.
That
And
was
he
just
had the
best.
red line.
That was the best.
He had the red line.
Yes.
This is where they're at.
yeah.
But then Pompeo said that he validated it. I'm using the word validate. Remember, he said
that's the strongest.
Yeah, he said
piece in that whole
Pompeo
thing.
said he was there.
Yeah.
And he went through it. Question: happy with what Pompeo is doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, early in the game, but it looks good.
I think North Korea is a little shook up that the mustache is on staff. I think they are.
Not the only ones.
Yeah, I think the mustache has the old boy nervous.
And that would be Bolton.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they know Trump is serious.
Pompeo's candidate for replacement is going to have a tough row to hoe.
CIA, what's her name?
Haspel?
Yeah.
Is that right, Haspel?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Gina Haspel.
She's going to have a tough row to
Yes.
hoe.
I agree with that.
Because of the waterboarding allegations.
Yeah, because she was the one that, second in charge is always the one that that's really running the show, and second in charge always knows what's going on with every aspect of the CIA. Agree?
Yes. If it's between 3,000 Americans and you feeling like you're about to drown, you will be feeling like you're about to drown. All right, anyhow, moving right along.
Yes, sir.
I support waterboarding. Yeah.
We picked that up.
Yeah. What? I don't. Well, that's just joking. My gosh, everybody's so tense.
I support
Friday.
Pet of the Week, and you know what?
It's coming up. So
Yeah, Rena's
it's
in the
time.
house.
It's time.
Rena's
Rena's in the
back.
house. Pet of the Week's in the house. Humane Society, Blue Ridge. Final thoughts. Winners or losers? What do you got going on?
I just thought I'd do a little let this sink in.
We've switched it up.
Yeah, let this
It's the
sink
let
in.
Let this sink in, folks.
Yeah.
We got a volcano erupting in Hawaii,
This is a quote from Hillary Clinton.
My cousin was there.
Excuse me. Are we going to have to turn the TVs off behind us for the two of you? Go ahead.
Look, the average Democrat is just plain stupid. They're easy to manipulate. That's the easy part. Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Wait a minute, the average Democrat is easy
To manipulate.
to manipulate. They're just plain stupid.
Because they're stupid.
And then just this week we found out, what, 40% of the higher learning universities, state universities, I might be wrong on the number,
Don't even have one Republican.
Right. Interesting. Just learned that this week. I read that somewhere. When did I do that?
Let that sink in.
And you?
My loser of the week is the ACLU. I mean, they're being funded by all of the left-wing radicals, and for them not to come out and raise holy Cain about Michael Cohen's private office and his home being raided like it was.
Yeah,
It's
weeks
just-
ago. They
Yeah,
should've.
I mean, it's just, the ACLU is despicable. My winner of the week is the African American community, because they've got a president that's done so much for them, and I think the Democrats are scared to death that if they lose that base, if they lose that African American base, they're done.
Kanye went out there and actually said slave. It has messed them up.
Oh,
Their
big
heads are
time.
spinning up. Have you had an opportunity to see the little cartoon where Kanye's running out the gate?
Off
And
the plantation.
Off the plantation, and
Oh,
the
boy.
Democrats are chasing him and said one got away.
Yeah,
So true.
it is.
So
I mean,
true.
it's, you know, you hate to
Kanye,
say it. You
look.
hate to throw that out as the
Hold on, I
the
got to
perfect
switch it. Yo,
analogy.
my brother, I don't have any albums, but you're all right with me. All right, I had to do that. I had to switch that up. Go ahead.
Even JR had a comment about that one.
What?
You're a fellow MAGA brother.
MAGA brother, right? What else you got?
No, I mean, that's my two winners and losers.
Giuliani hurting Trump with the money from the account, or just
No.
no?
No.
What do you say?
I'm going to echo what Mark Levin says. He's going in the right direction, but he's got to be a little bit more tactful with the way he throws
lips.
things out. Loose lips is exactly what he
ships.
said. He's got to be a little bit more tactful. Go on the offensive, attack the Constitution. I mean, look to the Constitution for solace.
And this supposedly,
it's there.
the affair that she supposedly wrote didn't happen. The timing of this was 2006.
We know Trump did all of this before he came into office. Now he's in office. He's like looking. He said, "I thought Kennedy had a secret tunnel to get out of here from time to time."
Get Maryland in
right?
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy.
Right
Right to the
okay,
pool.
folks, it's time for our pet of the week, but I want to have a little closing statement here. West Virginia. If you understand West Virginia, you're supposed to say West by God, Virginia. You know, you get up there in West Virginia. Where are you from? West by God, Virginia. But I want to say this. Please, my friends from West Virginia, send Evan Jenkins, the congressman, back home. He supported Hillary Clinton. He is a Democrat. He has switched twice from Democrat to Republican. Republican, Democrat. He switched twice. Just do the research. Please send Evan Jenkins home. Now, this week, they had a debate, a national debate, Fox News. I watched it. Martha McCowan and Brett Baer, Blankenship. I forget. Don Blankenship, I think is his name.
Don Blankenship.
Okay, Don Blankenship went to prison. 29 coal miners died. A disaster. Little Big River or something like that, or whatever coal. But anyhow, 29 miners died. He owned the mine. They took him, the Obama Justice Department took him through the courts with 3 felony counts. They could not make them stick. A misdemeanor. Folks, a misdemeanor, whether it is wrong to break the law, it is 1 notch above a speeding ticket. But they put the man in prison for a year. He was the only one in the prison for the year that was serving time for a misdemeanor. First-time offender. Now, if you and I, again, a tragic time in the history of this country with 29 miners dying. But if you and I were to get into some sort of trouble and go before the judge today and it's a misdemeanor, you would get what's called a first-time offender deal. First-time offender, okay? He did not get first-time offender. He got a misdemeanor and a year in prison, and he's still on probation. The only thing I'm wanting you to look at is not that Don Blankenship is the guy you should vote for, is that's the extent the EPA, right, West Virginia and Coal, DOJ will go to destroy people. They destroy people. So if you think that they're not going to do anything they can to destroy Donald J. Trump, you just look at Don Blankenship. They will destroy you. I'm your host, BKP. West Virginia, please remove Evan Jenkins as a congressman and either send Don Blankenship or Mr. Morrissey, your West Virginia Attorney General. Send them to Washington, but not Evan Jenkins. We'll be back right after this with our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society, and Rena is back, so we're glad to have her. Thank you guys very much. Did you have a winner and loser? Took too long. Out of here.